is an ABC News special report.
Hello, and welcome back to ABC News, starring news anchors Annabelle Land and Emily Lynch, and intern Milo. Today's topic is going to be the Pythagorean Theorem. The Pythagorean Theorem was discovered by Pythagoras, a Greek mathematician and philosopher from 500 BC. However, records show that Babylonians knew how to generate Pythagorean triples thousands of years before Pythagoras invented his theorem. Now, on to Emily to show us just how these Pythagorean theorems work.
Thanks, Annabelle. There are two main ways to use the Pythagorean theorem. The first way is when you're solving for the hypotenuse. To solve for the hypotenuse, you need to square both of the legs of the triangle, and then you need to add them together. Once you're finished, you need to take the square root of your sum. The second way is when you're trying to solve for one of the legs. To solve for the leg, you need to subtract the square of the known leg from the square of the hypotenuse. Then you need to take the square root of your difference. This is basically how Pythagoras proved his theorem. This is a squared, this is b squared, and this is c squared. Since these are the same length, and it's a square. And basically, if you add up the area of this square and the area of this square, it'll be the same area as this square over here.
If we were to place similar shapes on each side of the triangle, we will always get a remarkable relationship. The sum of the areas of the two smaller shapes is always equal to the area of the larger shape. And there are many examples we can use, and they all hold factually true, even with very unique shapes. So, in order to show that the Pythagorean theorem works, we will demonstrate it with squares. Remember, the area of a square is side squared. So from this, we get a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. And by rearranging the shapes, we can see that this is true. Now, the Pythagorean theorem will always hold true as long as we always maintain a right triangle. So there are many possible examples, and in every case, we can always be able to arrange the shapes to show that the Pythagorean theorem is true. Now, why does the Pythagorean theorem work? Remember, the angles of a triangle always add up to 180 degrees. When we have a right triangle, we have an angle that is always 90 degrees. So the remaining two angles must add up to 90 degrees to have a total of 180 degrees. Therefore, in every right triangle, the sum of the two smaller angles is always equal to the right angle. Now, in every shape, the angle determines the length of the line, which in turn determines the size of the shape. So, as we have seen before, the sum of the areas of the two smaller shapes is equal to the area of the larger shape, which is a direct result of the sum of the two smaller angles equal to the right angle.
it's 90 degrees.
Just exit stage right.
And now to intern Milo for ABC's slogan.
We put the news in hypotenuse.